So, so that means the financial pillar is taking a hit. And then, because you are not seeing that it's a moment in time and that too shall pass, you're making it affect your physical pillar. You walk around with a frown on your face. You refuse to give your face some light. You neglect applying some cream to give it luster. You decide, what's the point of connecting to a divine that does not hear my prayer? The universe suddenly in your mind is gone. So your spiritual peace has been eroded because the dollar has eroded. So the dollar is 75 cents now. So I'm going to destroy my spiritual pillar to match with this. Physically, I'm just going to let myself deteriorate because you see, the dollar has gone. And that is more important than my physical health. The thing is that the dollar will return to prosperity. It has to, because it's all cyclical. The thing that might not return is the damage you have done to your physical and spiritual pillar. Never mind the emotional pillar where this person will sit and pull their hair off, literally. Because they're finding that it's just too much to bear right now. But you have load-bearing walls. Put them together. The sick one right now is the pillar of financial prosperity. That's the one that's sick, that is sick and ailing. And it needs the support of the other four pillars, your mental prosperity, your emotional prosperity, your physical prosperity, and your spiritual prosperity. Are you able to go to work physically? And when you get the same pay and the tiny little raise that they offer, it will help the pillar to sustain better. The financial choices you made based on emotional distraught is not going to be good. So therefore, you have to stop for a moment and look at your emotional situation and say, okay, this is not the time to do this. Why don't I wait? And if the flow is consistent in your life and you have that financial independence, of course, yes, you can flow. But every now and again, when you hit that pillar and the dollar is now worth 75 cents, that is not an excuse to destroy your emotional prosperity, your mental prosperity, your physical prosperity, or your spiritual prosperity. That is the time to believe in them, hold them up, because they are your load-bearing walls. You see, you cannot build wealth on the foundation of fear. You cannot be so scared of success that you're going to build there. You have to believe it will get better. It's fear that keeps us from doing the things we can do to win. Afraid. What are you afraid of? You're afraid of the unknown. You're afraid of something that hasn't happened. And you might survive it if it does. So you see, with the shrinking dollar, we destroy the other pillars. You cannot build wealth on a foundation of fear. You must reinforce your pillars so that you are inflation-proof from the inside out. It's from the inside that you get that inflation-proof thing going. It's not outside. It's your belief. It's your focus. If you are not in emotional balance and you walk into the supermarket, you might not see the thing that you could buy that is on sale, because there are things that are on sale that can help. So you are the architect of your own abundance. Nobody else can do that for you. The economy might be trying to use an eraser, but your purpose is written in permanent ink. It doesn't erase, cannot erase. It's not going to be easy. It has challenges. Life is full of challenges. But again, because the frost is on the garden, you're not going out to plant. That's not true. You'll give the frost time to disappear. You'll look up and you will see the sun shining and the ice melting. And the lily of the valley and the hyacinths are popping up. The tulips are showing their faces, although frost and cold and all of that had covered them. Thank you, Marina. So one of the things we have to do for sure, you have to realize that while prices may rise, your value is infinite. Our value is infinite. We have to make the choice to realize we are more value than that. We are more valuable than that. We have to make sure we do that. Because when we stop and think we're less than, that's when we let those energies that are just wandering through the world affect us. There's always going to be the naysayer. There's always going to be that person that's going to tell you, hey, you're not good enough. There's always going to be somebody that tells you you won't make it. No matter you give up, go on welfare. You know, one of the most amazing lessons I learned in my entire life, and I didn't think it would have been a lesson. I didn't think there was a lesson in it, but there was. When I wrote my book, Controlling the Debt Monster, that charity, JVS Toronto, Jewish Vocational Services, bought a lot of the books, and they asked me to come to teach financial literacy. And at that same time, we had a minister of finance, I think Flaherty, he passed away, and he was deep into that. So they hired me to go around the city to teach financial literacy all through the city. I'm an East Ender. I'm not a West Ender. I have no idea what happens in the West End of the city. After I think Bathurst, I'm kind of lost. So my husband, who had done both, drove me around 10 times and I still got lost. Even when I tried it on my own. It was not fun driving on the 401 at 5 o'clock in the afternoon coming home. But I learned to observe there. I learned and I heard stories. And I saw how other people prey on those that are less fortunate than them in person. I didn't know that. I didn't know that lifestyle. I didn't even have that lifestyle from the third world country I came from. My life was not like that. So it was really important for me as a human being to have had that experience so I can be here today to tell you. This lady said to me, I had a job. I was a PSW. I had 5 children. My job paid. I got help with my rent. But a friend of mine told me, just quit the job and stay home and go on welfare. Let the government support me. So she said to me, I did that. I did that when my last son was 2 and he's 17. And she said, I gained 80 pounds. 80 pounds. And now I am sick. I really cannot work. Because somebody told her, don't fight. Don't strive, just quit and let the government supply you with what you need, which is not enough, but was enough. And she was sick. Her legs were swollen. She was just sick. So you find that because it's there. And then there's a company that I forgot, Prime America, and they walk that area like what do you call them? Vipers and predators. That's what they were. And they got these people that were working to actually quit their job and told them, if you do this and do that. Anyway, I am going from one mall across the way to another mall because it had to do that. And one of them stopped me. And he said, hello, how are you? Fine. I have something to talk to you about. I said, I'm busy. I realized what it was. So I was walking. I said, I'm going over there. You want to walk? So he's walking and he's telling me that I can make millions by getting involved with Prime America. I had heard the reputation before. So I had it filed in. And he said, what do you do? And I just said, I'm a real estate agent. Oh, his eyes got so big, and this man was the same color as me. He wasn't another race. It was my own race. And he told me, just give him the list of my clients, of my customers, and I'll make millions. I laughed and I said, yeah, there's a couple in my class this afternoon. They did that. They quit their job and they did what you just asked me to do. And their first paycheck from you was $11, or not from your firm. And today they have no money and no job. And they're taking a financial literacy course right now. So you see, the one says, stop, let the government take care of you. Another predator comes and said, hey, I can take care of you. And some of us say, hello, lover, you take care of me. I will give you control. This old woman said the man she met on a newspaper thing for seniors, after 2 weeks, he said, when are you going to put your money on my name? She said, if I had stronger teeth, I would have bite his nose off. She was 80. So you see, there are predators all over. Those on the news, that's what sells. Yes, inflation is high, and we will not all of us make it really, really well, but make it we can. We have to believe, though, nobody can do it for us. The government couldn't do it for her. She ended up sick, still sick. Prime America couldn't do it for them. They end up with no money. But he was still out there fishing. And then we have a little bit of our money, and somebody says, give me your money to manage. I'll make it for you. And they take it. You don't trust these people, but we are taught to do that. So the whole thing about inflation is that we have to realize that while prices are rising, right, your value is infinite. May your mental pillar, that's the one you have to work on, be clear of fog. Your emotional pillar be filled with courage, and your spiritual pillar be the rock that the waves of the economy cannot move. I will survive. Isn't that Gloria Gaynor's song, I Will Survive? So the thing about it all is that as we continue to build our lives on solid ground, remember your daily promise to yourself. What is the truth you feel about you? Can you make it? Have you made it before? Have you crossed troubled waters? Were you faced with situations you didn't know? You lost a spouse and all of a sudden you had no money. Or you walked away and all you took was the clothes on your back. But you came out of that and you're better. You walked away and you had to fight for you to get half of what was yours. But you did it. You didn't give up. We have to be that plant that decides, that seed that decides it will grow in the cracks of the pavement. And then a child will pass and say, Mommy, I picked up a flower for you. And it's a dandelion. And I picked it up on the sidewalk on my way from school. And it's a dandelion. So you see, that child saw the beauty in that dandelion sitting in that crack and decided Mommy needed it. Grammy needed it. They didn't care that it was a dandelion. It was what was important is that it was pretty. So you see, we do not always have to take the negative energy from others and make it our own. We can go around the area and find our dandelion and realize the yellow is the sunshine. It has life. It decided to grow somewhere in the path of a 5-year-old on the way from school, making sure that you got that dandelion. So resilience is our only choice right now. We can inflation-proof ourselves by believing we will survive. And when you look at your account and it doesn't look as positive as it was 2 years ago, you're still here. And it will get back there again. All it needs is time. And you need patience. And you need to practice the Kenny Rogers song, The Gambler.